Welcome to A2 lesson 36. Today I'm going to be looking at stative and dynamic verbs. When I say stative and dynamic verbs, these are very important in English because they just show you what we call a non-action and what we call action verb. Non-action verb and an action verb. And simply you get to understand clearly the difference between the two. Stative versus dynamic verbs. What are stative and what are dynamic verbs? When we say stative and dynamic verbs, in English, verbs can be divided into two groups. The first one is what we call the dynamic verb, which show actions. Dynamic verbs, they show actions, and we have what we call the stative verb. Stative verb show what we call states. They show feelings, they show thoughts, and they also show possession. When you're going to talk about a state, a feeling, a thought, a possession, you use what we call, those are grouped as one thing called the stative verb. And when you talk about a physical action, that's a dynamic verb. Dynamic verb can use continuous form, like ing form. They can use ing form. But stative verb usually do not use continuous form. They usually don't take the ing form. Let's start with what we call the dynamic verb, the action verb. Dynamic verb show actions you can see or measure. If you can see an action, if you can measure the action, that's what we call dynamic verb. Simple example that I have, which are quick one and easy: run, eat, watch, write, read, dance, clean, study, cook. These verbs can be used in present continuous. I can say I am running, she is eating, they are watching TV, and so on and so on. You see, I can put them into the present continuous. I can use a continuous: running, eating, watching, writing, reading, dancing, cleaning, studying, cooking, like that, and it's okay with that. But when I go into what we call the stative verb, or simply the non-action verb, the stative verb or simply the non-action verb, what do we have here? Stative verb, they describe feelings, thoughts, senses, possession, opinion, states. When you are going to talk about feelings, the thoughts, sense, possession, opinions, state, that's when you get into what we call the class of stative verbs. Example, I have like, love, know, understand, believe, want, need, remember, own, belong, seem. And in this case, they are not used in present continuous. Remember, I said they don't use the ing form. I can say I like this song, but I cannot say I am liking this song. We shall see deeper when you do that what you want to mean. When you put the ing, what comes out of that. I can say like, but liking, know, knowing, no. Understanding, believing, wanting, needing, remembering, owning, we shall see what comes out of these verbs with ing. To use it as a gerund, that's okay to use it as a gerund. Remember, gerund is also considered as a noun. Simply, it is like a noun. It is not there as a verb. When you put ing, gerunds function as nouns. Let's see categories of these stative verbs, the non-action verbs. We have emotions. In the group, we have 5 groups: emotions, thinking or mind, senses, possession, and other states. And in all these 5 classes of or categories of stative verb, we have various verbs in them: love, hate, like, prefer, want, need. Know, believe, understand, remember, think. To think as an opinion. See, hear, smell, feel. Feel as a state. Have, own, belong. Seem, appear, mean, cost. These are various categories of stative verbs, as you can see. what can come here? Do you have any confusion between stative or dynamic? Yes, some verbs can be both. Sometimes you can have a verb acting as a stative, and it can also be a dynamic verb, depending on the meaning. This is very important. When I say I think you are right, yeah, if I use it as a stative verb, I mean that it is an opinion. That's the idea I have. I have the idea that you are right. I think you are right. But when I say I am thinking about my future, that's dynamic. Why? It is a mental action, even though I cannot see or measure that activity you are doing, but your brain is still doing an action. I have a car. It is a possession. That's a stative. But when I say I am having lunch, it's like I am eating. This having is replacing a certain action of eating. I see the mountain. That's a sense. The eyes are doing the action. I see the mountains. That's a sense, a stative. I am seeing the doctor today. This time I am putting ing to mean this seeing is now an action symbolizing meeting someone. I hope now you no longer have the confusion between certain verbs having both. It just depends on the meaning that you have. Let's see stative verbs in present simple. They usually use present simple tense. She likes chocolates. I know the answer. They need help. He believes in hard work. Never say she is liking chocolate. No. Or never say I am liking the answer. Or I am knowing the answer. No. Never say that. Dynamic verbs in the present continuous. Dynamic verbs can use the present continuous. I am reading now. She is cooking dinner. They are studying English. That's normal and okay to do that. Let's see a comparison table between a stative and the dynamic. Remember stative, I said that there is no ing. We have like, know, want, believe, seem, understand, have, think. This have is here as a possession. This think is here as an opinion. Dynamic verb, which is the action verb. Run, write, eat, dance, study, cook. Have to mean eat or to mean to drink. Have breakfast, maybe eating breakfast. Have tea, mean like drinking tea. I'm having tea, it means like I'm drinking tea. Think here as an action to consider something, to take into consideration of something. You're going to tell me if this is a stative or dynamic between the given. You have many verbs here. I'm going to write S for stative and D for the dynamic. Understand, run, want, cook, believe, study, belong, eat, know, dance. If this is a stative, you're going to write S. If this is dynamic, you're going to write D. Just like that. That's an exercise. Here I'm going to choose the correct form, either stative or dynamic, based on what you have here. I dash dash, you are right. She dash dash a book now. They dash dash the truth. He dash dash a car. We dash dash dinner. She dash dash the doctor tomorrow. I dash dash this music. He dash dash the soup. You're going to choose the right answer, then you fill in the mistake brackets. And this time you're going to correct the mistake that you have here. I am knowing the answer. She is liking ice cream. No. She is licking. Licking. She is liking ice cream. They are wanting a new phone. He is believing you. I am having a car. The confusion here was that we have another verb, but it's not written like this. We have the one which is L-E-A-K, which is read as leak, to leak. And we also have another one which is L-I-C-K. It is also read as leak. That's why I was confusing it. But that's not. This is like, then ing, liking. So you're going to choose, correct the mistake here in all the sentences that we have here. We also have a quiz here. I dash dash about my weekend. She dash dash English class. He dash dash fun today. They dash dash the problem. I dash dash the soup to check the salt. You're going to choose the right answer from the given ones. Thank you. Ciao, ciao.